Story 1. House of Night. Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village, there was a house that everyone talked about and feared. The house had been abandoned for many years, and the villagers said that you should never go near it. One night, a group of brave teenagers decided to unravel the mysteries of this house. It was around 2 a.m. and I couldn't sleep, so I went down to the living room. I was alone in the house, and the silence enveloped me. Suddenly, I heard a faint noise coming from the kitchen. My heart started pounding, and strange thoughts raced through my mind. I mustered up the courage to open the kitchen door. The kitchen lights were on, but nothing seemed out of place. Then, I noticed a teacup on the kitchen table. It was full, and steam was still rising from it. It was as though someone had just taken a sip without touching the cup. Fear froze me in place. Why was there a girl in my kitchen? What was she doing here? And who was she? No one else was supposed to be in the house. The girl stared at me for a moment, with a look of horror in her eyes. Then she smiled again and vanished. In that moment, I was alone in the house, trembling. I couldn't tell anyone about it, because they wouldn't believe me. After that mysterious visit, even stranger things started happening in the house. I would hear strange sounds at night, and sometimes I'd feel like something was moving around every night. I remember that smile, and it still haunts my dreams. In the end, I had to leave that house and move somewhere else. But the memories and the fear stayed with me. Who was that girl? And why did she communicate with me? I'll never know if it was real or just a dream. Story 1. The Haunting Memory. Years ago, I experienced something that still sends shivers down my spine whenever I recall that night. It was around 2 a.m. and I couldn't sleep, so I ventured downstairs to the living room. The house was eerily silent, and I felt an unexplained unease. Suddenly, a faint noise from the kitchen interrupted the silence. My heart raced as strange thoughts plagued my mind. Gathering my courage, I cautiously opened the kitchen door. The kitchen lights were on, and my eyes fixed on the teacup sitting on the table. It was full, with steam rising, as though someone had just taken a sip, but there was no one there. Then, I saw her, a young girl, dressed in white, sitting at the table. Her long hair framed her innocent face, and her smile was disarmingly charming. Her presence filled me with both fear and curiosity. She never spoke a word, but communicated directly with my thoughts. "Do you remember me?" she inquired. In that moment, I recalled having seen her somewhere, but the details escaped me. She began to tell a story through her haunting gaze, a tale of death and vengeance. She was once a living soul in this world, and she was reaching out to me to help her bring closure to her story. As I struggled to understand and piece together her narrative, I was met with more questions than answers. The girl's story was a dark and sorrowful one, and she needed my help to resolve it. Just as I began to grasp the essence of her story, her image started to fade, and she slowly vanished. I knew then that I could no longer stay in that house. The next day, I left that house, leaving the mysteries and memories behind. But the girl's story still haunts me, and I feel a compelling need to find a way to bring her the peace she so desperately seeks. These stories recount the chilling experiences of two individuals who encountered unexplained phenomena, leaving them with questions that continue to haunt them.